Good Saturday morning, St. Hilary parishioners. Once again, Father Steve coming to you to do a little update on our renovation project. I am back in the church, as you can see, and our renovation project continues. We did receive the new pews on Wednesday, and as I jokingly said, some assembly required, actually a lot of assembly required. I couldn't believe they put all the pews for this entire big church on one truck, but they did, and the reason is that they are in separate pieces, and then they need to be assembled. So the crew has been here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. They will be returning Monday, and will be finishing by the end of this week. So what's exciting about is seeing the actual pews, which I'll share with you in a minute. But we will be back in Horning Hall for Masses this weekend. The good news is it's actually chilly in there right now because we have such mild temperatures overnight, and the circulating fan has been on the entire time. So I will be very comfortable, I think, in there this weekend for our last and final weekend at Camp St. Hilary's weekend Masses in Horning Hall. Special treat this weekend also, Father Cam is on vacation, so we are going to be having, for the 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Masses, Father Chris Trenta, who was ordained several years ago. I think he's going on 10 years now, as a parishioner of St. Hilary's. His first assignment was in Worcester, and then he went to Rome, where he received his advanced degree in liturgy at St. Anselmo's. He is now a faculty member at St. Mary's Seminary Graduate School of Theology. So he'll be with us on Sunday this weekend at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. I think it's hilarious that we have Father Chris with his advanced degree in liturgy, and he gets to celebrate Mass in the gym. God has a sense of humor. All right. So anyways, pews arrived, and I'm excited about the pews. So let me turn the camera around and give you a little gander. So here we are, St. Hilary's. We have the new pews. What you'll notice right off the bat is the color of the stain, which is darker than the older pews. This color of the stain matches the wood tones on the altar, the presider's chair, and the ambo. So we wanted to match all of that also with the choir pews. The pews are not in their exact final locations. That'll happen this week, and then they will be affixed to the floor. What you may not recognize from right at this point is that the pews are what they call radial. They're not flat or just straight. They're actually slightly curved, which when I come to the corner here and show you, you can get a better idea of the fact that just slightly curved, which actually is nice, especially for people who are sitting on the far side. So I'm going to wander over to the far side here. And when the old pews were in, as a straight pew, they just kind of had you look at the drum case. So that's the drum case in the back, that black thing. The drummer sits in there. And with the new pews, the tilt has you not looking at the drum case, but rather when you're sitting, especially on the end here, you'll be actually looking at the altar. All right, so that's great. The other thing about these pews is that they are deeper in the seat than the old pews. Whenever I sat in the old pews, my legs would always fall asleep because where the end of the pew dug into my calf, I was not very comfortable. These pews are much deeper, so when you sit in them, you actually sit back and relax. So the good news is I'll be able to preach for about 30 minutes every weekend Mass because you'll be so comfortable in your seats. All right, I won't preach 30 minutes, I promise. The other thing you'll notice is that the middle section of pews has padding on the bottom, but that the side section of pews do not. So when we did our survey last year for the new pews, we had two samples. We had a sample with the padding, and we had a sample without the padding. And I asked for your input. So 1/3 of you said, we love the padding. And 2/3 of you said, we don't like the padding. We actually think that the wood pew by itself is more comfortable. So we have a third, which is the middle sections with padding, and we have the 2 side sections, which is 2/3 without the padding. So when you come back to church next weekend, you'll have to make a decision on whether you want pads and sit in the middle or whether you want no pads and sit on the sides. I know this creates all kinds of decisions and tension and consternation and nervousness. But don't worry, I'm confident that you can figure it out. All right. What also we have here is a big stack of kneelers. All the kneelers have to be assembled. I want to tell you a little story about the kneelers. When I first made the contract for the new pews, we were supposed to get the metal kneelers like we had before. And when we were reviewing the order, I was talking to the son of the original salesman, and he said, I see that you're getting the metal kneelers as opposed to the wooden kneelers. And I said, well, yeah, that's what the original guy had talked about. And he said, well, actually, customers are finding that the wooden kneelers are actually much more enduring, long-lasting. They're made out of wood, and they're actually manufactured by the same people that make the pews, so they will be able to fill that order at the same time your pews are made. They're more expensive, though, he said. And then he made the magic words. He said the magic words. But we will give you the more expensive wooden kneelers for the same price that you're paying for the metal kneelers. Now, I'm a Slovak, so when somebody tells me that they're going to give me something more for the same price as I would pay for less, I'm sold, right? So we have our wooden kneelers going in. They're actually beautiful, and they'll be very long-lasting. So that's the kneelers. Those have to be assembled along with the rest of the pews. All right, so that's the excitement. It's like Christmas Day here at St. Hilary's with the new pews. One other thing, a couple people are asking again about who's paying for all this. So I did mention, by the way, over 10 years ago, our parishioner, Mrs. Jean Hauser, had left a considerable amount of money to the St. Hilary Parish Foundation. You know that here at St. Hilary's we're very blessed that we have that foundation. And we have a spending policy in the foundation with these funds that we spend 4% of a 12-month rolling average. So we are able to spend from her fund a certain amount every year. We've done a lot over the last 10 years with the money that she left us. We painted the interior of the church. You remember that painting project? We replaced the acoustical panels in the back of the church. Remember, they were kind of a dark brown. Now they're samovar silver, which matches the samovar silver along the windows. We have redone some of the windows. The window had to be recaulked. We've also used some of her funds for musical performances. She was very much involved with the Akron Symphony, so we've used her funds to support our 2 concerts every year, the Gaudete concert in Advent and the Laetare concert in Lent. She also has provided other funds for the renovation of the spiritual center, which all got repainted, new acoustical tiles in the ceilings, new lighting, the meeting rooms, and all that. So we've been very blessed. Mrs. Hauser has been gone now for 10 years, but her fund continues to help us out. So these pews are being paid for by Mrs. Hauser and her fund through the St. Hilary Parish Foundation. So no offertory money is being used for this project. We're just so blessed to have her resources still with us. And also what's of historic note is Mrs. Hauser actually paid for the original padding of the pews. So this is kind of in her bailiwick. And in her fund agreement, there are certain things that she liked and wanted to fund, and church renovations and beautification was at the top of that list. All right? So anyways, this is a little update for all of you. Again, see you this weekend at Horning Hall, our last weekend there. Weekday masses continue in the spiritual center, and we're looking forward to being back here in church for our weekend masses next weekend. All right, talk to you later. See you soon. Bye-bye.